Hello and welcome again to another edition of Technically Speaking. My name is Ross McIntire. I'm the technical director here at the Orpheum Theatre. If you can tell, we are up in the attic of the theater, and we're about to check out the projection booth. Now the projection booth has two doors that lead out either end, and they both look like this, and these are fire doors, because in the days when the Orpheum was first opened, film was still very, very flammable, and so to protect the patrons and the rest of the building from an accidental film fire, they had these big heavy doors to kind of try and contain it as much as they could. So let's take a step inside, see the beautiful confines. Now the first thing we have as you step in is the old splicing table. Now none of this equipment has been used in recent memory. In fact, I doubt it's been used since I've been born. Now the table itself, having no film on it, I couldn't demonstrate how you would wind everything up, but one thing that does work, and is very easy to operate, is the cutting table light. Almost perfect. And we have a few pieces of film here that we found in the floorboards or under equipment in the attic. Things were over the last 100 years when they were still splicing film, and these pieces were thrown out into the attic with the other things in the trash cans. And they're just waiting for us to dust them off nowadays and find them. We post pictures of these from time to time on our social media, so if you're interested in those, give us a shout and we'll put up a few more if we have them. This little machine here is a combination of a film cutter and taper. I'm sure there's a name for it. It was how they would splice one reel into the next. And continuing that line, right here we have the platter system. That's what this is called. Now this is for a set of film that would have been 3 reels long, obviously very wide. And you can see the example we have right here is a canister for the Puss in Boots cartoon. This is a reel that was brought over by our late friend Mr. Dave Beck. Is on loan from the Blue Moonlight Drive-In, and it was I couldn't remember the name there for a second, and it was brought over when they were trying to determine whether or not our film projector was still viable. Turns out the soundtrack machine doesn't work, and we have no way of integrating it with our current sound system. But the nice thing is, if we ever decided to show silent films, we could certainly do that. And I'm going to step over here to show our projector. Now, the tragedy of this projector is that it was not used terribly much before the theater closed as a movie theater in 1982. This projector was put in by the Kerasotes Corporation when they bought the theater in the late 1970s, between 77 and 78. And it was really only used for those 5 years, one can imagine. And since then, it has been sitting up here cold. It may have been used in the intervening years, back when the soundtrack machine still worked with the sound system. But for now, it's sadly kind of the relic in the attic. It still works, remarkably. If you flip a few switches in here, the bulb flashes on and everything starts humming. But given that none of us is a trained projectionist, this isn't really something we can ever use for a show in the future. But we do like to remember that it's up here as a fun little relic of the past, and to remind us of our heritage as Galesburg's finest movie palace. I'd like to give a shout out before we close to our good friend Peggy, who had commented on wanting to see the state of the Orpheum projection booth, as that was once the focal point of entertainment in Galesburg, being the Orpheum movie theater. So thanks, Peggy, for your interest, and we're so glad you like this series, and we hope you keep watching. As for everybody there at home, thank you so much for joining us again this week. Please remember to comment, like, share, subscribe, all the good things that we like, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.